Welcome.
Welcome.
To
Welcome.
breakfast together. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I would want to say to episode 3, but not that quick, because today myself, Telemahos, Dimitrios, and Irena are here for the bonus episode. And this bonus episode is related to, of course, the Polyglot Gathering 2024 in Prague that we just came back from. How are you guys feeling? Are you good?
We're good. We're good. I think we are all happy and with a lot of energy. We spent 5 or 6 days all together in Prague. It was beautiful, and I think we're gonna try to talk about this polyglot experience. It was amazing, at least for me. It was my first one,
Yeah.
and not the
So
last one.
wow, you were there for the first time. Yeah, exactly. So I we could speak, I think, for a long time about this one, but I think what's most and on top of everybody's head is how are we feeling? Like, what are the impressions after this 5 days? I'm still feeling pretty present in Prague. I can't tell you guys that I'm back to work and I'm back to my routine. I'm still with all my thoughts in there, and I'm very curious to find out how you feel. And yeah, let's look into what you like the most about this event. Obviously, there are probably going to be things to improve, but tell me how you feel, what you like the most about PG 2024.
So let's start with Dimitris, since it was your first time in the gathering. So you will have the
Yeah.
most, let's say, shocking impressions. Maybe you had different expectations. We don't know, but tell us, what did you like? What did you love about the gathering?
Right. So the expectations, I think it was mostly like when we were talking before the event with you, Till, and we had a lot of I had actually a lot of expectations, and I knew from before that the gathering will not be the same as last year. So I was a bit I had all these experiences that you mentioned, being in a single hotel, like all together in one place. But I think the gathering this year exceeded my expectations. One of the things that I really liked was the feeling of the community. That I felt the same thing in the Polyglot conference in Budapest, at the place that we all met. And I think this feeling of the community and the place where all the polyglots belong, that was the best thing for me. The other thing that I would say, it's always the motivation that all these events can bring to a person. For me personally, I really like I got more motivation on keep going, keep doing what I'm doing all these years, learning languages, or improve, like learn new languages or improve the current ones. And all this energy that I got after talking with all these talented people. Some of these people had even close to native accents, so that was like really fascinating. Or other people like Irene as well, that speaks tons of languages. So that's really like a big thing for me. So that really makes me happy, and I would like to go back to my language learning. So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that was from my side. How about you, Rena? What did you like in this polio gathering? I know that you are like on from the oldies. You have been attending.
She's the veteran of all the events.
Yeah, you're a veteran for the events, so you can compare with the previous ones, and you can give us your point of view.
Yeah, that's true. I've been to all the gatherings, so that means that the events are good. Like I kept going, and I feel the energy from the community, and I love what I'm learning at those events. I've also been to a lot of the conferences, but not all of them. So what I like, I can second your opinion, Dimi. I really like the feeling of the community. Like, and for me, it's a melting pot of ideas that we're all different and we come together there to share, you feel accepted. And what I particularly like about that is that we can talk not necessarily only about languages, but we can just share ideas in general. Like, I found myself on Sunday evening in Garden talking to a Polish girl and a Dutch girl about relationships and dating and cultures and whatnot.
Right.
And I thought like, wow, like this is so cool, and it's like friends like that I never met and you connect like at the gathering because the time is limited. You connect with people super fast, probably faster than in real life. Like everything is accelerated. That is one thing. And another thing is that when I came to the event for the first time, we were maybe 300 people. And then it has been varying, and then COVID came, and then, yeah, it was the numbers lowered a little bit. And now it's like the biggest event ever, 800 participants. We will get the statistics soon, but about 800 people. I love that. Yes, that's really difficult to logistically to manage the crowd, but so many people join us. Like I think it's amazing, to share passion for languages and just get together. So those are my favorite things about this year's gathering in Prague. And now, Telemachos, what did you think? This is your third time, am I right?
Yes, exactly. I was in the two gatherings of Terezin in Poland, and this was my third time. So I was knowing a bit what to expect, but I will have to second a lot of what you said, what you guys said, because yeah, for me, like one of the best things was the energy in the gathering in general, the energy, like the vibe of the people, the fact that like it's everyone together there sharing the same passion that you would not normally share with like the average people perhaps in your like regular lives as well. And because it's like everyone together in like one place for like one purpose, I feel like there's this dynamic where you also bond with people really fast, and you also like meet people who have like, because of this passion, is like people are also like very curious or have traveled a lot and like have mixed backgrounds, interesting stories. So it's like it's incredible the type of people you meet, like the range of people you meet, like any type of character and personality. And that was the thing for me. And meet people also who speak different languages, and you get inspired that, okay, maybe I will learn this language, I like this culture, these people. So I would put it as number one. Of course, I also like the lectures a lot, and I learned a lot from them as well about endangered languages, or how language affects culture, identity, lots of things that I maybe didn't know, or even like some strategies for learning languages, or tips or tricks, or some let's say little like details of a language, like Asa's workshop on straight Turkish, which is something you would not learn in a textbook, and it was also super fun to watch. Yeah, I would say that for me, like this is like the like these are the best things. But I would put the people as number one. It's of course it was all made possible by the event and the courses given and the organization. But in the end result, it's this like feeling of community, of relationships that you build, and that you go to do deep conversations. You go to like very like topics that have nothing to do with languages sometimes, but they're about life in general, and topics you would not talk to somebody you've known for so little time, so fast in your normal life. Uh, and yeah, what about you, Asia? You've also been, I think, to two more gatherings, if I'm
Um,
not
yeah, I'm
mistaken.
just like you. This is my third one. I did two in Poland and now this one. And um, I would want to repeat all of you, frankly speaking, because I could just say plus one to everything. Definitely the energy, the community. It's such a great feeling to have like-minded people. Actually, after the event, I found myself walking on the street, and I thought everyone else is a polyglot on the street. But then I was like, no, you can't just any stranger on the street. It's not gonna work. They're gonna think you're weird. You're not at the
Where
conference
is your
anymore.
name tag?
Exactly. Where's your name tag? Oh, you came from there. You speak this language. So yeah, that whole there is no barrier. You just speak. And for me personally, I think yes, it was a very special time since yes, it was the first time I was performing as a speaker. I did realize my dream for the past 2 years, which I prepared this presentation on Turkish, as you said, Telemachos. This is not a very sort of a book course. It was my sharing my experience of full immersion into Turkish, and it was great experience. And this is one of the biggest pluses I think is that not only we were the community, but also we can share certain things in front of each other. Like there's this support, and people that know you from the conference can come and cheer for you, and they're there, they participate, they find out something new about you. I, for example, with Joshua, you guys know, the man. We came out afterwards. He's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know Turkish has so many, Urdu words." And DJ's like, "Oh, I didn't know there's so many Hindi words. They're so similar." So you do find out things about each other too. And I think that whole drive, yes, motivation for languages definitely gives it, but also it brings this motivation and inspiration to do something even else out of languages, like build a project or write another lecture or maybe go into a topic which you didn't think about. Yeah, that was the thing for me. And I will do the cheeky thing. I'll jump right now and be a little bit of a antagonist of what we've just said, because yeah, there were so many great things, and I do prefer talking about positives. But were there any negatives? Like people would think about this, think, "Oh my god, we're sugarcoating this. This sounds like unreal something." Would you think about any improvements in such events? Because I know what everybody's going to say: food in Prague. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little thing. Obviously, food is important, but I don't think it's the most important. I just have to say that I generally preferred the experience in Poland in terms of being isolated in one area with all the other participants. Prague is great, Prague is amazing, but I feel like there's a lot of distractions. It's not necessarily an improvement, but if I had to just point out something, I'd say I probably prefer to be with all these people in some area where nobody is having a thought, "Oh, should I go sightseeing? Should I go, visit the Museum of Beer?" So yeah, that's for me. But what do you think, Dimi?
I would say I think Irena mentioned already that it used to be 300 or 400 participants in the past, and this year it was like the double. It was like 800. So I understand from the organization point of view, it was like more work to do. It was not easy to handle or like to try to organize all these people to have like better food or better events. But if I had to choose something, that would be probably the music or after talk events. Even if I participated in a few of them, I understand that it's not easy to please. It's not possible to please everybody. I've been also working in the music industry as a DJ, so I understand that you have to follow one, let's say, more commercial music or whatever.
Yeah,
I think there was supposed actually to be one disco night that was supposed to happen in a venue next to the place, but something as I've heard, there was some late cancellation, so this didn't happen, and then you have around 200-300 people waiting for that. So I would say it's
yeah.
expected, but at the same time, maybe next year they could pay more attention in the music or after talk events. That would be the only thing. But I think the amount of people that they had to handle and to organize, they did pretty well. And how about you, Rena? What do you think that could be an improvement for next year?
I second both of you. So yes, the music. Like I thought while you were speaking, I thought like imagine a club, like a nightclub filled with 800 polyglots. Wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, totally. I understand that, as you said, those events are getting bigger and bigger. They require more logistics. So one thing for me would be just, to improve the general logistics. And I've also heard from the organizers that they simply do not have enough volunteers. This is an event that all those costs they go to cover the venue, the food. So people work there as volunteers, and they told me that they need more. So this is a general call to everyone next year, if you can volunteer at the
Volunteer,
event.
volunteer.
Volunteer.
Yes, that would be it. Telemachus, any suggestions from your
I mean,
side?
it's along the lines of what you guys said. I think it's. I also prefer this kind of like bubble effect that the like hotel in like kind of the middle of nowhere gave, and it was it was like easy to keep everybody in the same place. It was just you didn't have to think to worry about what you're going to do after. Like you didn't have to find a place for 30 people that is, has space in Prague at night on a Saturday. And if you were looking for somebody to talk to, you could just go and like look around. There were like limited places, so you could just find whoever you wanted to. So it felt a bit better in that sense. Um, Even though I can imagine that it had the opposite effect in terms of attractiveness, because when you haven't been to the gathering at all and you hear it's a gathering in Terezin with 300 people you don't know and you have to pay a bunch of money to go there for 5 days, I can imagine that it might put off a lot of people. So I think actually one of the reasons that it attracted so many people this time was exactly that reason, that it was kind of safer for people who don't know it. Um, and again, with the food, I mean, the food itself was perfectly fine, even pretty good in some cases. But I think that what I missed from like the previous gathering is that these super long tables where everybody was, and like you
Yes.
always happen to sit. Okay, because people usually just sit at the beginning with their friends, but then some random people sat next to you, so you talk to them, and you also had zero time pressure, so you could just you met actually a lot of people while eating, and this dynamic was missing from this year's gathering.
Mm.
Uh,
I can agree with you, Telemachos. Actually, I it's funny because last year I was thinking to go to Poland, Terezin, and when I've seen there's like gonna be a hotel and in Terezin in Poland that I've never heard before. I thought, okay, maybe it's not a good idea. So I also didn't have any. I didn't know anybody from the polyglot circles. So I thought, yeah, better like let's try the conference that is like a conference. So it should be like safer. But the other thing that I think I can agree a bit with you, but also I can say that also in this event I had the chance. Yeah, we spent a lot of time by the people that you know, and we mostly most of the days we had lunch together or dinner together. But I met I would say bands of people because you were just like talking in while waiting for the food to be served, and I've met a lot of people also in the queues or like in the restaurants. So I understand that it's different, and you had a different experience in Terezin, but I would say that I couldn't feel the. Maybe I was lucky. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, we are comparing it to our like a perfect version of Terezin, but I mean, of course, it might be a minor detail that if you haven't seen the other thing, like you don't really care at all. But yeah, exactly. But also maybe because now a lot of people know it, and I can imagine that many of these 800 people will tell their friends about it. People will be like less wary of going to like a random town in the middle of nowhere in a hotel like at another Terezin.
Yep. And not to mention that the next event of this kind is going to take place in a couple of months in November. It's a Polyglot conference, and this is going to be limited. And I really hope to see you all there. But yes, we could speak for ages, but who is going to listen to us for so long? In any case, I think we can all agree that this event was absolutely amazing. And if you're into languages, into meeting positive, amazing community, then that's the place to go.
Right. Any closing thoughts from anybody?
Well, I can say that it's really filled me with like a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, a lot of feelings. It's you know this feeling that you've lived a lot of experiences in a very short time, and I don't know, like I left with a lot of energy for and motivation for life, for languages, for traveling, for everything. So if anybody has any doubts about joining, just go for it. And you can also join for a few days, if not the whole week. But yeah, it's like an amazing experience. So I would definitely recommend it, and I will be going there for many, many times in the future, I hope.
Prepare to sleep less.
It's funny. One friend of mine, like she was seeing some of the pictures or the stories, and she told me that Dimi, you look like high on life, and that's
Aw.
really nice to hear actually. But you could see this energy even if you're not there. You could note this.
Irene has been doing it for so long, so
Yeah, look at
clearly
me.
this is
Yeah,
a lifelong.
I have like just 3 words to add. Don't hesitate. Come.
One closing thought from my side would be I had the same feeling exactly after the conference, but it happened again. So like going to one of these events always could remind you, at least for me, like it remind me the why I have initially started learning languages. It's to get to know new cultures, get to know people, and travel around the globe and make new friends and meet new people. And I think that's the important thing. And that's what happened there. So definitely, as Irena said, don't hesitate.
Amen to that.
Cool.
Thank you very much, everybody, for today. We could speak for ages, but yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye. Many kisses from Breakfast Together team.